By the way, you might have heard about Heidi Keitkamp yesterday, the Democratic senator from the beautiful state of North Dakota, indicating that despite the fact this could politically hurt her, she is a no vote on the judge and will remain a no vote on the judge. Whether that automatically benefits a guy who was already leading in the polls in that state, anyone's guess. Kevin Cramer, the North Dakota Senate candidate, joins us right now. We did put out a call, as we have throughout the last couple of weeks, to Heidi Keitkamp's office. Have not heard back. All right, to you, Kevin Cramer, one of the things that has come up is that your opponent decided this was the right thing to do, even though it's going to politically hurt her. Now, we should be clear that she was trailing and is trailing in the polls substantially, even without this decision. What do you think motivated her?
Well, I don't know what motivated her. I don't know what's in her head. I do know this, that it's a violation of everything that her campaign's been based on. She has tried to make a brand of being the independent from North Dakota as opposed to the Democrat, the person that reaches across the aisle and votes with President Trump when he's right for North Dakota. And yet she's ignored polls in North Dakota that have shown, including the Fox News poll, that have shown people by a margin of more than 2-1 want her to vote for Brett Kavanaugh. So she's no longer can make the claim she's independent of Chuck Schumer, but rather she's independent of the people of North Dakota. What motivated her? I do not know, Neil.
All right, but let me ask you, that's a good question. If you become the senator of North Dakota, and you're going to face situations with some tough votes where maybe a good majority, maybe an overwhelming majority in your state feel one way, but you morally, ethically feel another. Which do you cave to?
Yeah, I think we always have to be committed to our conscience. If you're not, then you probably shouldn't be in leadership. But we are also a representative republic, and we make our case to the voters every election. In my case, it's been every 2 years now. Hopefully, it'll be every 6 years if I choose to do this again and I win this time. So it is a tough balance many times. But on something as big as this, the Supreme Court of the United States, and you're up for re-election, I think listening to the people that you represent is pretty darn important. But she's also mishandled it all the way up to this point, Neil. I mean, the fact that even not voting for cloture seems to be the easiest vote in the world, ending debate and moving on. But not even doing that, I think, brings into question who it is she actually thinks she's working for.
All right, well, believe me, I don't carry anyone's water here. I think her argument was that it wasn't time to end the debate, that there were some holes in that FBI study. Who knows? But Neil,
here's the point. The point is, though, that there's always going to be holes until they come up with something that says that he's unfit to be a Supreme Court justice. So we've got to have the vote eventually.
We can argue over the details and why someone votes where they do on cloture, what have you. But it did go along party lines, to your point. Not totally, but in the case of Lisa Murkowski, she voted against ending it, and then might be telegraphing, as seems to be the case, a no vote on this.
Yes.
She is the only no Republican vote right now. Susan Collins could be. We don't know of Maine. That would put the added pressure on Joe Manchin to be a yes voter. This thing doesn't happen. If it ends up coming down to that, what does that tell you about this nominee, about this moment, about this whole saga?
First thing it tells me is that we may not ever get a conservative that chooses to be on the Supreme Court again if that's what happens. The other thing it tells us is that brutality and rioting and protests actually do work, and that's unfortunate. The other thing, though, it tells me is that we need more Republicans in the United States Senate so that we have a bigger cushion, so that for individuals like a Susan Collins, whose political environment back home is different than mine would be here in North Dakota, we want to be able to provide them, some opportunity to, to do the things that are, that are to be reflective of their constituents. And so, to me, if you want to talk about the politics of it, this is a good reason why we need more Republicans in the United States Senate, particularly from Middle America.
Kevin Cramer, Republican North Dakota Senate candidate. Thank you, sir, very, very much.
Thanks for the opportunity, Neil.